Stanz, we're going to be learning about Britain's favorite vlogger who has recently quit.
Oh, KSI V3.
No, we are not into the thick of it. We're talking about Randolph.
Okay, we've talked about Randolph. Have we talked about Randolph on main, or was that a binge and cringe?
Both. Randolph was really involved in the diss track season that we've covered a lot.
That's what it was.
YouTube Deep Dives.
Yeah.
He's recently become a big vlogger. Also recently has quit.
Ah.
So I wanted to tell you the story of how this all came about. But to get there, we need a little bit of a backstory on who Randolph is.
Of course.
So he is a man of many talents and a man of many fingers in many pies. This is his main YouTube channel, Randolph. Randolph has done a bunch of stuff on his main YouTube channel. If you just go on videos and then scroll down.
Sure.
Recently, he was doing like kind of challenge style videos. He started out as a rapper that was doing music with and for KSI.
Right.
He is the person that did the World Cup song with Joe Weller.
Oh, no.
Which we have talked about, but that video hasn't come out yet. Spoiler alert, we're doing Dive Miss. So you'll see us talk about the Joe Weller World Cup
so the
song
YouTube people
Dive
don't know
Miss.
I know about this. Got it. Okay,
Yes.
Perfect.
Obviously, he wasn't in the video, so he didn't do any of the bad things, but he made the music for it and was like, did the chorus and the rap and stuff.
Nothing wrong with that.
And like I said, we've talked about Randolph when doing the diss tracks. He was going at it with Deji. I don't know if you remember some of the stuff that was mentioned. As you can see, his most videos are the 2 diss tracks. Shit was crazy. But Deji also has a podcast with one of the members of the Sidemen, Simon.
Deji or Randolph? Randolph does.
Did I say Deji?
You said Deji. Yeah, it's okay. I just was. I was trying to connect the dots. You're good.
They've been uploading this podcast for like so long. If you go to oldest,
5 years ago.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. It's maybe one of the longest running like British YouTube podcasts. They're still doing consistently like really well. Both of them are like relevant in the industry, so I think like when they talk about specific things, they still get views.
Shit, I spoiled myself on accident.
Yeah, but they haven't uploaded in a while, and it's part of the reason that Randolph has quit vlogging.
So he's not only quit vlogging, he's quit. He's also quit the What's Good podcast, and if we look at his last video 6 months ago, he's also quit Maine.
Yeah,
he's quit everything.
There's a lot of
this
stuff
guy's out of here.
that he's quitting, as well as the podcast. He even has a golf channel with a bunch of the Sidemen people.
Oh, interesting. That is so specific. Sorry, is this a shared channel between them?
Yes. So all 6 of them have like a little slice of the pie, and I don't know how they manage it because the amount of content that the Sidemen do alone is crazy. That they also have a golf channel, but if you look, the views are crazy.
Yeah, I mean, 700,000, a million. This is not sorted by popular. This is just their videos are getting 1 million per video. Holy shit, dude. People love golf.
People love golf.
I
hate
Stanz golf channel, bro. This is crazy.
Yeah, it is insane. But he doesn't just do golf stands. He does have a Pokemon channel because he has a love for Pokemon. If you go to most popular videos, his Pokemon channel went crazy during COVID.
Right, during the Logan Paul buying Pokemon cards, Ludwig buying Pokemon card stuff.
Exactly, yeah. The Pokemon card boom. Randolph basically was already he already had like a second channel that was Pokemon oriented. And he has been obsessed with Pokemon cards for a long time. So he like not only started to put effort into his YouTube channel, but also made businesses. So he has a Pokerand where he sells Pokemon cards and made that a whole entire business. He also has his own grading system called Ace Grading that he founded with someone else that rivals like PSA.
Wait, so if I
CGC
send in my cards for grading, there's a chance that this Randolph is like holding up a Charizard and be like,
he's not the person that's grading
he doesn't
them,
do any
but
grading? Got it.
No, he's like, it's like an official company that has like, he's done tours of his like grading studios and stuff. What's really cool about the Ace Grading stuff is the banners that you get carry on, rather than it just being like a random sticker, it carries on the artwork from the Pokemon card. So it actually looks sick.
Right, it like fits the theme of the rest of it. Yeah. Okay, very cool. Ladies and gentlemen, today's video is brought to you by Saley, which is an eSIM service. Some of you might remember when I went to Korea last year. I made a really cool vlog, but when I got there, I struggled trying to connect with the people I was supposed to meet. And as someone who doesn't speak Korean, it was really tough for me. I had to spend a long time in line buying a mobile Wi-Fi kit so that I could connect my phone to Wi-Fi just so I could message some people on Kakao Talk or WhatsApp. And with Saily, I could just use an eSIM. It's super simple. You can buy an eSIM for as many days as you like. For example, I have a 30-day eSIM on the Saily app right here. All I have to do is install it, and I have a new phone number. I can use a different network. I have access in other countries, and I get it for as long as I need without the waste of having a regular SIM card that you put in, out, lose, don't have access to. And you can get a 15% discount if you use my code. That's going to saily.com/Stanz. You'll get 15% off. It's super easy. Maybe you're going on a trip soon. Maybe if there's another network in your area that is better for you. Maybe you just want another profile to have a different phone number so you can talk to different people in different ways and hide your identity. Not saying that's what I like to do, but you could do it with Saily. And all you have to do is go to saily.com/Stanz. It is Rochelle and my anniversary coming up, and maybe we want to go on a little bit of a trip. I think it'd be really cool. And instead of going and getting a new SIM card, I can just use an eSIM through Saily, make sure that it activates right when I get into the country, and I don't have anything to worry about. My phone just works. So check out Saily. It's an eSIM, saily.com/Stanz, 15% off if you use my code Stanz. Let's get back to the video.
And then, after being a rapper, YouTuber, podcaster, and PokeTuber, he then decided to become a vlogger.
Okay. Dude, this guy's got channels on channels. Oh, but his last one was also a month ago here.
If you go most popular on his vlogs, you'll see the kind of trends that ended up doing really well. Being able to see like a behind the scenes raw version of all these YouTubers, like Sidemen adjacent people and the Sidemen, that were usually on camera. They're like putting on a persona. They're like playing up for a video. As you've seen, like Sidemen is like, we're doing this specific challenge or this specific event. In these vlogs, you just get to see them being regular humans.
Right. I mean, 7 of these 12 have KSI in the thumbnail. So it's like, I totally understand what's happening here. Yeah.
But in those videos, most of those like thumbnails or like people being in the title, he would usually like just do their regular day with one of them. And then he'd like pose up next to them and go, I'm just going to do this for the thumbnail so I can put you in the title. And he's like, yeah, sure, that's fine.
God, like, that makes sense. You can see he's literally doing that here. Yeah,
it is very funny. That is an overview of Randolph, and we are going to get through the story of his vlogging career. There's a lot of ups and downs in this story, but we're going to start off on a sad note.
Oh, no.
Randy tweeted this at the start of this year.
Life update. It's right that I tell you that my wife and I have separated. We'll always do everything in our power to focus 100% on baby Harper and it being the best co-parents we can be while keeping things amicable. I do ask to please respect our privacy. The most important thing is moving forward. Love you all. That is so sad because they have a kid. I saw that he was like sharing with the Sidemen that he was pregnant in one of his things. I don't want to like spoil.
Yeah, on his main channel.
Yeah, on his main channel. That was one of his popular videos.
This is very sad. And when this was posted, obviously, like he said, they've separated and they had been separated for a while. This wasn't like, this didn't happen at the start of this year. This had been months previously. I think he was only having to put it public because something happened behind the scenes. He's not really talked about it. There's a lot of stuff that he hasn't talked about, which quite rightly, because it's his own like personal stuff.
Yeah.
But that's
someone
almost...
saw him making out with a bird at a Spoons.
Well, the only thing that he has said is there was no cheating on both sides.
Sure. I'm talking even after they split. You know what I mean? Because then it's like you have to talk to people.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. Maybe this announcement though of his separation with his wife and mother of his kid was the spurring moment for him to start his vlogs. He decided he needs to take some time to focus on him. And so he randomly went to Texas.
That's where we all focus on ourselves. I had to get away.
Welcome to the Randolph vlog. This is a road trip with me and me only. No one else is here. I'm in Texas right now. I flew over here and yeah, I'm being on my own for a week. I'm getting away from all the crap that's been going on in my life. I'm doing me, you know? So anyway, the plan right now is to drive 4 hours to a Tom Segura show, one of my favorite comedians in Corpus Christi, Texas. I'm currently in Houston. So yeah, that's the plan right now.
Dude, what a bizarre set of circumstances that is happening right now. Like British YouTuber / Sidemen adjacent guy gets divorced, flies to Texas and drives to Corpus Christi. I'm kind of hooked. It's like, what's this guy up to?
It is crazy. And especially like being someone like me that was like in the sphere, as in like I was watching all of the different people and I knew Randolph like through all the other content that he was doing in his Pokemon channel and stuff, just to see him randomly be like, yep, now I'm vlogging, I'm going to Texas, and I'll take you on the ride. It's just like, whoa, where did this even come from? This is so sick.
Yeah, it is very surprising.
And it was a daily vlog. So it was like going back to the roots of vlogging, which was, I think, Casey Neistat. We've talked about Casey Neistat on this channel before, YouTube Deep Dives. Yeah. He revolutionized like vlogging in general and made it kind of so everyone would copy him, essentially, right? They would like be very artsy, do time lapses.
Yeah, totally.
But the original YouTube vlog was just, hey, I've got a camera and I'm gonna talk into the camera and show you my day and just talk about my day. And Randy's vlogs were very much like that. I felt like going back to like the essence of YouTube, which was so nice because of what like the Mr. Beastification of YouTube currently with all the challenges and stuff like that.
Look at this, right? This is what people were seeing. Or are seeing, you know, obviously the times don't line up, but this is the Mr. Beastification, right? And challengification of it.
Yeah. And as Randy goes on, so some of these videos were posted when he was doing his vlogs, but he has since stopped doing those main channel videos because he was realizing that that's not how he wants to put himself on the internet. He doesn't need to be like this overly produced, really polished version of himself. He can be raw and just talk to the camera and share his vibes, you know? So on the 5th day of this trip, he went to a Texas barbecue place, and this video banged.
Right. Yeah, I mean, 500,000 views. And this is early on. He's wearing the same outfit.
And this was like his vlogs were getting like 20 to 30K views because it was like a new, it wasn't a new channel because it was just the second channel before, but like you know what it's like changing a whole entire YouTube channel to like a different style of content. Because we're doing that with only Stanz right now. And you've got to like build up the views to be able to get the like audience new to it. And then literally 5th video is just like British guy tries Texas barbecue and it goes crazy.
I've been to Texas a few times, okay, and I've never been to have barbecue. I've just never done it. So everyone's recommended me to go to this place called Terry Black.
I've been there.
What did you think of it? Was it good?
Yeah, it's great. Terry Black's, it's fucking great, man. If he says it sucks, I'm done. I'm leaving this dive right now.
No. There's no way.
I have no idea what to order though. So you pick a side. Cream corn sounds cool. Mac and cheese sounds cool as well.
The cream corn is great.
I'm too sure. I asked her like, what's the normal amount to get, and she said this. Like, it's like
is he gonna say that's too much or too little? Because to me, that looks fine. I might get more if I'm doing first time barbecue.
Yeah. I'm not sure if she thought I was eating on my own or like with the family or something. By the way, I'm sure I'm doing this wrong, you know. I'm sure like I'm gonna get comments of people saying, "Oh, you're not doing it right," you know. But I'm sorry. I'm not from here. I'm on my own. I'm riding solo, you know. But let's try this. Okay.
It's crazy because I feel like I'm kind of a solo rider, right? I do a lot of stuff like on stream alone, but the thought of doing this is even crazier. You know, he's just like out there, him and his camera, exploring the world. Power to him.
Yeah, it was sick. That was part of the allure of, for me anyway, for watching these vlogs was like him just going and doing shit.
It'd be similar like if you did it, right? It felt like very relatable. Because it's not like he's not KSI, he's not getting swarmed, they're not giving him special treatment. He's just eating at Terry Black's in Austin or Dallas, wherever he is.
And also because he was like, it's literally him and a camera. It felt like you were kind of like there with him, and he was taking you on the journey that he was going
Paul, you're Randy's best friend, watching him eat barbecue.
Which then was like an added layer to how like raw and emotional he was being, talking about some of the things he was going through during this trip. There was lots of moments where he would be like, he'd go to a bar, for example. He was like, it's weird going to a bar on my own. And then afterwards was just like, damn, I really wish I could see my kid right now.
Oh my God,
that's like, tough. I'm just really sad. Yeah, it was really sad. And but he was like, I only want to share this with you guys because I don't want it to like paint a fake persona of like, you know, like
he's
Instagram
living it up, the Instagram filter.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. He was like, no, this is me. This is what I'm doing. Obviously, I'm here in Texas having a good time, but there are moments when I'm not having a good time. And
dude, he's like crying into his Terry Black's barbecue, and it's so good. You know what I mean?
Because you could interpret like him going off to Texas and having a really good time as like he doesn't care about his like kid that he's recently like had a divorce with the mother of. And,
sure. I mean, I as an adult, that would be a stretch, but I could understand how some people might latch on to that.
Hey, as an adult, you will realize a lot of people on the internet are fucking brain dead morons that we will see in the rest of this dive.
I'm one of them.
As I mentioned, he would also post behind the scenes of all of his friends, whether it was like a day at the Sidemen Studios playing golf or recording videos, or going to a meal with the troops. Now, before I post this, who's in the troops, Stanz?
The troops, it's the group chat, dude. Are you kidding me? It's all the adjacent guys. Which is the guy with a long neck who does that show where he's at a bar.
So I think you
say his name starts with a Z. It's Zizarak.
Oh no!
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Embarrassing himself in front of the Sidemen viewers.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What's his name?
Are you talking about Cal Freezy?
Almost assuredly. Yes, Cal Freezy. Zizro.
He's been on Stephen Try's bar show, but he doesn't have a bar show. And
he's got the show where he's on
Cicero.
A couch. He sits on a couch and does a basement podcast.
Yeah, but that's not a bar, and that's the fellas.
Sometimes he goes on the bar. The fellas. Now we're talking. Okay, he's a troop.
So Cal Freezy is in the troops.
Yes.
Can you name any other troops members?
Burnt Chip.
He's not, but he could be. Fuck. So also, did you just read one of the other person that's in the fellas?
Yeah.
It's all the Sidemen.
Yeah.
And Calux, and I think JME is technically in it.
Sure.
And Cal Freezy.
Yeah.
And Randolph.
Of course, that makes sense. He's a troop. The Venn diagram is hard to remember.
Yeah, so then they went to a troops meal. And this is funny because it was like early on Randy starting vlogging. So he like didn't want to... He was like making an effort to not just stick a camera in all his friends' faces.
Which is very nice. Yeah.
So whenever he did and like felt brave enough to bring out the camera, everyone was like super supportive of him. They were like, "Oh my god, yeah, he's vlogging. Let's go. I want to be on Randy's vlog," which is very cute.
Yeah, it's very sweet.
It was Toby and Josh. They're the late ones. Look at the gill. All right, that's it. That's it for the vlog. Goodbye. All done and dusted. Hungry? Any more?
Only hungry for that big, just a big eels down there that I've been hearing about.
What the fuck is going on here?
Fucking insane. Yeah, I don't know.
It's not good until I get hold of it. I'll make it.
He's so humble. He's so humble. Don't listen to him. It look big in your hands.
Yeah.
Turn around. Okay, insane. Yeah, I can understand being like, I'm scared to vlog, and then like they're just like messing with him a little bit too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and also like they know that they're on camera, but it's a different kind of like vibe.
Yeah.
Like being able to catch Ethan randomly talking about Randolph's car.
Because it's not like, their channel, you know what I mean? They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
That'll be weird. Yeah.
And also, it makes me want to tune into any vlog because you never know when Ethan's
might just say something out of pocket,
slobbering on him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But not all the videos were crazy. Some were very low key and just him living his life. For example, he would often like have long car journeys and just ramble to the camera whilst he's driving.
Oh, feeding ducks with Harper is gonna make me cry.
Well, it's just in the car after he's seen it. So.
Oh. Yeah, but look at that thumb. I mean, people can't see the thumbnail, but it's like him holding his daughter's hand, walking down a dock. It definitely is very sweet pilled.
Stop waffling, man. Like, talk less. You know, this is boring. And I'm like, to those people, either I'll reply back and just say, go and watch.
Dude, me when I pause too much when reacting to shit. Am I right? They're gonna say it right now. Let Randy finish.
These vlogs are slow. They are often boring. It is me just waffling, and you know that's I'm completely fine with that. And I think the majority of you are completely fine with that too, because it's just a real glimpse and a real representation of what I'm doing and who I am, you know. And I don't want anyone who doesn't align with that to watch this anyway, because you know I want people to actually care about the content and care about what I'm doing, and obviously, hopefully, you guys get something out of it as well. But yeah,
the fact that like this video has like 37,000 views compared to the other ones that were like clickbait,
500,000, 300,000.
Yeah, he had like a very close knit group of people that actually cared about like the stuff that he was doing. They weren't there for like him spending time with like to see the behind the scenes of like Ethan wanting to suck him off, right? There were people that came because of that and then stayed because Randy.
Dude, you
was
can't say
like,
Ethan suck him off and there were people who came because of that. Come on, man. You choose your words.
There
carefully.
might be. I was spitting. There might be people that were people that joined because of all the like, oh, I want to see behind the scenes of stuff, and then they stay because they want to hear about Randy and hear his day and see how he's doing, you know? And the like rawness of what he was doing with his vlogs and these kind of conversations allowed, like, the close-knitness of the community allowed him to share things.
You feel more comfortable in opening up about maybe things that are going on in his life.
Right, rather than it being like, if this was a main channel video, for example, he would never talk about any of this kind of stuff.
What up, invaders? We're eating every chicken shop in London. And also, I got divorced and I'm sad. You know what I mean? Like, of course that wouldn't make sense. Like, I get it.
Yeah, it gives him a different outlet to be able to share this kind of stuff and him feel like it's not going out to like millions of people.
Sure. It's like the difference for me between like streaming and main channel videos a lot of the time, or the difference between like therapy and streaming, which you probably should go to, you know?
Yeah. And so with sharing the ups, Randy was open about the sad parts too. And this next video is hard to watch.
I've just got the letters from the solicitors for the whole thing that's going on right now. And yeah, I just wanted to talk to the vlog real quick because it's something that's quite tough for me and I struggle with it and have been struggling with it. And like trying to work, but I just can't work because now I've read them all. I'm just thinking about it. They got sent a month ago, but I didn't even know because it went to an email that I don't even use and I wasn't told where it had gone to. So I've been waiting for these letters to arrive and they just haven't been. But anyway, they're there. So I read them and obviously it's something that I don't want to really put into the vlog. I've been trying to keep it off the vlog and just speaking kind of like, you know, not metaphors, but speaking not in absolutes, essentially. I'm not going to do that now, but I just wanted to film something because obviously it's just hard to talk about and like, this helps me talking to the vlog and stuff. So yeah, it's just tough, man, because like, obviously, you know things are going to change, but it's hard to kind of like, I don't know, like one of them says, there's obviously 2 letters, one of them is about Harper, and it's just like every other weekend is what I'll see her, and it's like, oh man. But obviously, I see her every weekend right now, but obviously I guess that's going to change to every other weekend, and it's going to be formal. But the tough part is like with my job, it's not always, it can't be formal, you know, because like some weeks I'm going to be somewhere else or whatever, or there's going to be something I have to film or some sort of event or whatever. But I guess it's like the
how
reality
scary.
now.
Imagine like being not only a content creator, but like a content creator that is. This is not an insult or a compliment, but like a content creator who the bulk of their views comes from like doing things with other content creators, right?
Yeah.
If he was his own channel doing those challenges, like he could schedule them all every other weekend and make sure he was clear. But the thought that like, hey, the Sidemen and the troops are going to do something. I can't because like I value this time with my daughter way more. And so like this is very difficult for me, you know?
Yeah, and all the people that he's friends with, that he's like involved in all these channels with, they are all able to do whatever they want whenever they want.
Yeah,
they
drop everything and we're doing this thing now.
They could, in theory, retire right now and be fine for the rest of their lives. And he is like in a group of friends where they are all multi-millionaires and he is like juggling so many channels, so many businesses, and is the one that has divorced from his wife and is now having to deal with divorce settlements with his child. And still balancing like spending enough time with them, plus being able to pay for the like all of those things to make a better future for his kid. It makes it so hard. And this is obviously very raw and emotional.
I don't know, just the thought of every other weekend is crazy. Because even you guys were seeing the past weekend. It's just fun and I just like it. But obviously I knew I have to pull myself together because I've got work, I've got stuff to do, I've got goals, objectives this year and stuff like that. And I guess like I keep telling you guys, or trying to convince myself, to be fair, when I tell you guys, it probably is just me trying to convince myself that all this work is for her, like later down the line. But it's just hard, the mentality going forward, knowing that I'll only see it, like two days.
Man, I'm going to say something you might think is controversial.
Okay.
You ready?
You always say things controversial, so I'm definitely down.
I think that there is extreme value in him producing this and airing out these feelings and getting it to his audience. I don't know if an algorithmic platform like YouTube is the best place to put it, because the only way that they can sort it is with other like family YouTubers and like, look at what my kid did. You know what I mean? YouTube is going to be promoting you to an audience of not people who like you, but people who like this kind of content. And if they like this kind of content and they're willing to watch a stranger who has this kind of content, all of a sudden, the videos that do well are the ones that like highlight this and the pain and the things you're going through. And it's just creating like this devious cycle that's going to be really challenging.
I would agree if he packaged the videos in that way. Now, obviously, the title of this the title of this video is "Today Was a Very Bad Day," but the thumbnail isn't him crying. It's packaged as though he's just like talking to the people about a bad day he's having.
Yeah, it does look very normal. He's not crying. He's not packaged that way.
There are so many YouTubers that will post emotional videos and will clickbait the emotional part of the video, have them crying in the thumbnail because they know that more people are likely to click on it because that's what like gets views. So the fact that he even didn't do this when he's talking about all these things, these like, I actually could do with like, I've got to remind myself that I'm supporting a future for my kid and I've got to make more money, and that he could post a picture of himself crying in this thumbnail and get more money out of it, and then he's not, I think shows the kind of content that he's wanting to put out. He's wanting to be raw and emotional with his audience without like making that part be like clickbaited.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing anything wrong at all. I think that YouTube on the back end will be doing something that is bad for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just really challenging.
You know what platform definitely will?
Oh, Twitter.
Well, yes, actually, that's maybe more than this platform, I'm going to say. TikTok.
Oh, interesting.
This got re-uploaded, this clip that we have just seen.
I don't know. Like one of them.
Probably locked in clips. Dude, I fucking hate clips channels. Okay, I think I'm on your side here. You thought I was going to fucking be a shooter for clips channels, locked in clips, steak sponsor in the corner?
All I was saying was there is an argument to be made that he could just not be talking about these things.
Of course. But it is a 30-minute video. I know exactly what you're saying. This is a 33-minute video. We are about to see a minute and 46 seconds. And yeah.
Them says, there's obviously two letters. One of them is about Harper. And it's just like every other weekend is what I'll see her. And it's like, oh, man.
So this is unedited. This is what we've just seen. So we don't need to rewatch it again, especially because he gets upset. And I don't want to see him get upset again.
Fair enough.
They didn't upload any other clips from any of his vlogs. This is the first time that Randolph has like emotionally talked about like some of the serious stuff. He even said in the YouTube video that we saw, he was like, I've been very vague about these kind of things and I'm still not going to talk in absolutes, but and then addresses that he's got documents about the divorce. Yeah,
he's talking about his feelings in relation to it. He's not saying that like, hey, I'm going to get her for one weekend and it's because of this and my lawyer charged me this much money. You know, it's like not the facts of the case. It's just like, man, I'm really sad because last weekend me and Harper had a great weekend. And now I'm thinking that I'm only going to get that at best every other weekend. And what if something happens? It's just like these feelings as they are coming to him, which are all very reasonable.
The issue with me, with this for me, is someone else taking a really raw moment and then trying to do what Randy chose not to do, which is clickbait the sadness for views. But it's not even the person that's sad in the video that is going to be receiving the benefits of that. It's some random fucking
even this
clip
caption,
farmer.
like Randolph gets emotional after finding out he can't meet his child. And it's like, what are we doing here? Sad music plays, you know what I mean?
So a vlog that got like 93,000 views now has been condensed down into this TikTok of the saddest moment that got 500,000 views.
Oh my God.
And to a completely different audience that hasn't been following like Randy's journey all the way from Texas to now.
This is just really quick, just to be clear, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is a human being doing it to him on TikTok, but this kind of like treadmill down is what I thought YouTube was going to be doing. This is exactly what I was describing. It's like it's going to people who don't know the circumstances, and without like being too spoiler, I scroll down, the number one comment is like, his ex is a prick. And it's like, what are we talking about? You don't know him. You don't know his ex. You didn't watch these vlogs. You've watched this one TikTok. All of a sudden, these things start snowballing, and it can be frustrating that something that was an outlet for you to talk to people who care about you and are willing to listen to people on TikTok who are just rage baiting.
Go ahead, read the rest of the comments.
Oh, you want me to read the rest of the comments?
There aren't very nice ones.
Yeah. If Ethan can spend time with Olive and Faith, Randolph had no excuse. So then it's like getting mad at his ex, saying that he's not doing good enough, which can be a really hard thing to hear when you're going through a divorce and losing custody.
Yeah, so Olive and Faith, I don't know if you know. So Faith is Ethan's girlfriend and Olive is their kid. And if Ethan can spend time with Olive and Faith, Randolph has no excuses. Crazy, because fucking Ethan and Faith are together.
Yeah.
what kind of universe does this
seems to be
person live
implying
in?
that like they split up because he didn't have enough time for her. I don't really get it. Maybe this person doesn't get it either. It could just be like a random comment.
Well, they obviously don't understand because they're not in the fucking relationship that Randolph was in. Only Randolph, he's not shared any of the details.
They're two different human beings. You know what I mean? So it's like everything is different. Yeah.
And the fact that 390 people could be like, yeah, fuck Randolph, when he's like being really open about wanting to see his kid. Like he's not saying fuck my wife, fuck my ex-wife, and also I don't want to see my kid and I'm being forced to. Like he's upset because he wants to see them.
This one's really crazy because this is the one, like this is the kind of shit that pisses me off. It's like, what are you even talking about? They think they're like making an argument. I see both sides. What are the two sides? Yeah, YouTube is Randy's job, and he obviously has to create content to get paid, etc. But he definitely could have taken some sacrifices and still had a successful career while also being doesn't even finish the thought.
I don't know.
Finish the thought.
I assume there's a read more maybe on mobile.
No, there's nothing.
Why doesn't it finish? Why did it get 1,000 likes, bro?
Yeah.
That's crazy. So yeah, as you can see, there is an inherent problem with that, and the people doing that, and it's so toxic and horrible. And imagine like being Randy and seeing this, or hell, being like Randy's ex-wife, that they have like a semi-decent relationship from all the context that I have seen through the other vlogs. Like they meet up with each other a lot. They talk to each other a lot, obviously, because they have a kid together. It's not like that toxic of a relationship from what I can gather. So like to go from thinking that you have a really good relationship with your ex to then reading comments in the TikTok and people being like horrible about you, calling you a prick.
And people calling her a prick that think they're like on your side.
Yeah.
It's like both bad. It's like they think you're a prick. They think she's a prick. No one has any idea what's going on because they're not in your like mediation sessions or therapy or anything. They didn't even watch the full video, man. We're on a different platform, on a different channel.
So unfortunately, this didn't stop. Randy would often have deep talks and very occasionally he would make it about his divorce or his kid. But it was not like
he's daily
primary...
vlogging. It's not like he's every day like, I'm so sad. I'm sure he's doing other things. He went to Texas.
Usually it was uplifting motivational stuff. He has like this like meme or persona online of being like Uncle Randy, and he will have this way of talking that like hits home. The way he's able to form his sentences are like so unique. I don't know how to phrase it without hearing a deep motivational conversation from Uncle Randy.
Sure.
But the dude's like a poet. He's able to hit deep with like motivational talks that are so sick. But despite all of the positive, like uplifting, motivational deep talks, every time there was a mention of the divorce or his child, like in an upsetting way, it would get clipped and posted on TikTok.
Yeah. I mean, because you see this one get 500,000 views, you're like, oh, that's what people like.
And I can't lie, I do feel a little bit empty right now. Like on the whole way back on the plane, I was thinking, okay, we land at 7 a.m. I don't know what to do when I get home. And I didn't just mean like, I don't know what to do today. I don't know what to do in life. That's what it felt like. As I'm now here in England and I'm driving on the way home, I'm pulling myself together a little bit and making sure I realize what I need to be doing, you know? And I'll figure that out. You know, Ace, YouTube videos, my job, life. I'll be honest, the one thing I want to do right now is go and drive and see Harper. It's quite emotional. It gets me quite emotional. You know, because I've been away on a trip for a week, and it's like when you get home, you want to see your family, you know, and I don't really have that right now, you know, in the way that I did, at least, you know, in the way that I did. So I'm seeing her at the weekend, but it's like how long until the weekend comes? Tuesday today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I see her Saturday, so it's like still got to wait 3 more days, and yeah, it's just like, it's tough, but then that's why I think then I got to work to make sure, you know, I'm still doing something for her, you know.
So that one, I feel like he's not even really getting emotional at all. He's just talking about it being emotional, which is fair. I think in his eyes, he's like, I don't want to be emotional on camera in case it gets clip farmed like that previous one did. Just from talking about it, very like he barely like revealed info. Then he was just talking about his life. If you read the comments, some of them, it's just horrible, man.
No one's fault but his own, unfortunately. What the fuck are you talking? This is, dude. That's why post face and social security number need to be tied to every one of your comments. This is a fucking 11-year-old. You know what I mean? No one's fault but his own. Dog, you got to go to primary school. What are you talking about? Your biggest worry is a fucking Beyblade right now. I cannot stand this. You're talking to an adult who is being very reasonable.
Dude, spitting.
I hate it. I get fired up about it. And it's not even happening to me, but it's like, I cannot stand these people.
Shouldn't have left his daughter for the Sidemen then. You don't even, like, you have no fucking understanding of what the world is, bro. Just because someone's gone through a divorce and their job is like YouTube doesn't mean that that's the reason. You know nothing about it, specifically because Randolph hasn't talked about any of this shit, right? He has been very like he talked a bit on his podcast when after he did the initial tweet, just to address like, hey, everything's good. This happened a while ago. None of us cheated. We're fine. It was an amicable divorce, like an amicable split. And they're both still talking. And
co-parenting, which is the most important thing. Yeah.
It's just crazy for people to just literally make up things. That's the bit that baffles me, is like, if there was even the slightest shred of evidence that that their relationship didn't work because he was, I don't know, friends with the Sidemen,
or spending too much time making videos or stuff like that.
What's even crazier is his ex-wife was like running Pokérand with him. He employed Laura, his ex-wife, to like work on a bunch of the Pokemon card stuff behind the scenes. So the effort that he was putting in with his businesses and his work, she was involved in. They would do it from home. He worked from home throughout most of COVID, and they like worked on Pokemon stuff. That's probably, if I was to speculate, the reason that they broke up. Not because he was ignoring her and not spending time with her, because they were working together. Because I can imagine that would be, I imagine it'd be really hard. But this person has no fucking idea. It's just made up the fact that he's spending too much time with the Sidemen, which is fucking crazy.
And then you get the men's rights people. Everyone's saying it's his fault when courtside with the wife normally. He was the breadwinner and now barely gets to see his child. And it's like, what are we doing? Like, both sides are so annoying, which is the core of every Stanz drama video. God, both sides are so fucking annoying.
Now, obviously, these clips are not only like taken to like be clip farmed to get loads of views, but they're also taken completely out of context from the vlog.
Right.
We're gonna look at this next TikTok and then see it in context to show how wild it is that they would remove certain bits of content.
Paying for my flat in London and a whole house that I don't even live in, you know, that's for her, man. You know, I don't have to do that, but I'm doing that, and then I'm working to be able to then do both of those things. Like, it's not cheap, man. Like, I don't know those details, but like, think about it, a whole house.
Dude, the problem with driving while doing these, like even with context, this is where maybe I tip to the other side, is like, brother, you're so focused on driving, you're just going to start saying shit. And
he's going to say everything.
You're going to say shit that you did not want to say, that if you were sitting at your computer, you would think, you know what, this isn't the best. But you just get so distracted. It's almost like hypnotherapy. You know, you're just going to like stream of consciousness, everything that you're feeling to a group of people that like are going to use it. You know, sorry.
You are so right. No. I don't want to give spoilers, but
I get it, because I've been in that situation. Sometimes you're just fucking in a flow and pissed off and distracted, and you say things, you go, what am I doing?
I don't know those details, but like, think about it, a whole house, a whole mortgage, and bills, you know, and everything else that comes with life. And then again, in London, you know, and then business. It's like, bro, so when people say like, why are you on a trip with the Sidemen? Well, I'm vlogging, man. I'm working. I'm doing my thing, man. You know. So it's like, yeah. But some people don't understand that. They don't get that. It's just fine. It's just fine. But that's what I'm saying. There's a different, like you know what I was saying earlier. Like, some people have this thing, some people don't have this thing. You know. And if someone thinks that I am, if someone honestly thinks that I'm like gallivanting around life, then think that. I don't give a fuck. You know. But I'm not doing that. I'm working my absolute.
Hey, man. It's fair to give a fuck if people are saying this shit. And I'm gonna jump ahead knowing that he's gonna stop vlogging. He does give a fuck, and that's okay. That's okay, brother. You can get mad.
In many ways, in more ways, and I'm doing it mid like a mental breakdown as well. Like, I'm doing it while I'm not okay. You know?
Yeah, that's tough. And that's out of context.
That's completely out of context. Obviously, what he's like, the thoughts and the sentiments that he's saying are true, but when you see it in full context, it's crazy. But I wanted to point out a couple of things before we see the context, which is the thumbnail of this. I've screenshotted so you can open it up, but like the TikTok thumbnail, Randolph pays for ex-wife's house.
That sucks so much ass.
If you frame this in a different way, it's like he's paying for the house that his kid lives in because they used to live together, and he got the mortgage when they lived in the house together, and now they don't. And rather than selling the house, he's still paying for it. And I don't think he's like forced to do that. I think that's like he's choosing to provide for his kid.
Well, he specifically says that. He's like, and I don't have to, I am choosing to do that. Yeah.
And all of the work and the gallivanting that he's describing that he's doing is so that house can be paid for. And also, he's like, because he is going through a divorce, he can't see his kid all the time. And I think that's like, some people just don't understand that online, I guess. That makes perfect sense to me. I don't know.
The question is, so he specifically mentions he's back from his trip. It is Tuesday. He cannot see his daughter till Saturday. So it's like, what the fuck? He's got to do something. Is it a problem to like record vlogs? Is it a problem to hang out with the sidemen? He literally cannot do anything but financially support his family, his daughter and his ex-wife in between those times. So what do you expect him to be doing? Honestly, if he was just off fucking doing whatever he wanted, getting blowjobs all week, it doesn't matter to me either. Because it's not like he can see his kid.
Hey, so true. Yeah. And also, he's not with his girlfriend. He's not with his wife.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. He's truly, at the beginning of this whole thing, he's like, I don't really know what to do with my life. And people are mad at me for the thing I am doing, right? Which is like making vlogs and hanging out with the sidemen.
Okay, now let's see the context that this is in. Okay. This is 25 minutes, and if you hover over so you can see how long he's in the car for, go to the left, because bro has been in the car for like all of this video.
Yeah, about 20 minutes, from 6 minutes to 25, and then he's in it for longer.
So most people, because the video is titled Golf with Rotashaw, Theo, and Capgood Tom, would stay for the golf bit and then not watch. You can see like the most viewed bits, it like completely unspikes.
Dude, what a crazy edit for him to do 5 minutes of golf and 25 minutes of therapy in the car.
Yeah. Because that was his day. And also this was the kind of content that he would put out. He would be like, okay, this is my day. I'm busy, so I'm just gonna rant and talk to the camera because I know I'm gonna have a busy day. So I'm gonna talk and people don't have to watch, but I know like my core audience will watch. Knowing all of that, he is like 15 minutes into this 20-minute rant that he's not ranting, to be clear, but just talking a lot. Most of it positive things, and he's getting onto this one bit, and we'll see the lead in to this now. It's crazy.
Okay, so this is right before what we just saw in the TikTok. That was like he's paying for his ex-wife's house.
I could try and spend more time with Harper and live up there. I can do all this stuff, but ultimately, when it comes down to it, I can't, because like Laura and I are not together, like I said the other day. So I have to do what I can, and a lot of what I can do is work my absolute socks off and provide in other ways, But I will say, and just to be clear, and by the way, when everyone puts stuff on TikTok, put this on TikTok, man, because everyone puts.
Wait, no, wait for it.
I'm just saying they didn't put this on TikTok. He's about to.
They didn't put this on TikTok, especially what he's about to say next. It's so sad. Yeah. The TikTok clipper saw this and went, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to ignore this purposely.
And by the way, when everyone puts stuff on TikTok, put this on TikTok, man, because everyone puts all the negative stuff. Put this on TikTok, man. There is nothing I wouldn't do for Harper, and there is not a minute or a second or a millisecond in the day that I would rather do than spend it with Harper. Like, that's obviously, that goes without saying. That goes without saying. There's nothing more important. But it's like a lot of what I do has to also provide. Like, you've got to understand, man. I'm paying for my flat in London and a whole house. I don't even live.
That's where the TikTok starts.
Right? Yeah.
Literally the same sentence of him saying, I want you to include this on the clip.
I would honestly rather spend time with my child, but I
love my child. Yeah. All of this is for my child, but you have to understand that I'm paying for a house. And it's crazy that you would include the end of it. Even when it was clipped out of context, like I watched the TikTok clip and I was like, I understand completely what he's saying. Yeah. I don't think he's a bad guy for it. But then when you put it into context, it's like the most reasonable, like, he's a good guy doing a good thing for the kid that he loves. And he just happens to be going through a divorce with the mother of his kid. It's like, I don't know what people want him to do, you know?
Yeah, and it's
crazy.
not, he is very open with like, I don't really know what I should be doing, so I'm just going to make money and hope that helps. You know what I mean? He said it like 5 times in these vlogs, and then people are like, I can't believe he moved to London. This doesn't make any sense. And it's like, what am I going to do? He's not going to misdoubtfire his kid. He can't just go be a nanny. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not allowed to get those days, you don't get those days.
Could you imagine Randy doing a Miss Doubtfire? I kind of see it. I think he'd kill.
I think he would. He seems like a jolly old fellow. Put him in a fucking big dress.
Slay. Yeah, for sure. And then finally, there was this out of context clip.
Randolph reveals he might leave podcast.
Which I just can't do it, man. I can't do it. Like I've been speaking to the apartment people to try and get a lower rate apartment, and I've found one. But even that's gonna be so much money. So you put those two things on top of each other, plus the business costs and everything else. I'm just like, this is why I just spend so much to live. I spend so much to live, man. And like all the hard work that I'm doing to like earn money, just.
I want to make it known here that like, this is so incomprehensible to me, who has been in a long-term relationship, you know, married for what feels like ever. The thought that there's no one who can be like on a bad day, it's like, hey, can you cook dinner tonight? Can you take on some of like the mental labor? Hey, I'll pay these bills, you do that. If I was single, I would probably DoorDash everything and pay $1 billion and live in Central London. You know what I mean? It's just like you can't do everything yourself. It is so difficult. And so I just say that in a way to communicate that I have empathy and I cannot possibly understand. And I imagine the 12-year-olds can't either, because life is really fucking hard.
Yeah.
It's really fucking hard, and I've had a pretty
Why don't you just get your mum to cook your dino nuggets for
you know,
dinner?
They can microwave your fucking lunchly for you, and it's like, brother, they can't.
So I want to give you some context for this specifically that this clip doesn't give, obviously, because it doesn't give any context.
Yeah, because it's locked in clips, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. So he woke up and realized he missed a deadline to apply for a better rate mortgage on the house that he's not living in.
Right. Okay.
And then found out that he was going to have to pay 5 times more interest than he was before, which then, rather than going, oh, fuck, I can't do that, so like, I don't know, I'm not going to pay for the house or whatever, he was saying how now, because of that, he might have to like reevaluate some of the things that are going on in his life to be able to pay for this.
Right.
So it's not like oh bro, nothing has changed, but I need to make more money and I'm not making enough money and woe is me kind of vibes. It's like,
circumstances have changed. Yeah.
Yeah, this big thing, like I'm now paying 5 times the amount that I was supposed to be paying on this. So he's probably gonna have to like not live in the flat in London anymore. And he goes on to say that he might end up leaving the podcast if he's not going to be in London as much, because that's where they film the podcast.
And then I'm paying to live further away from Harper. It's just craziness. Even this week, I've got podcasts on Wednesday, and I'm away on at the weekend on a golf trip for like golf filming. So it's like, I'm not going to see Harper at the weekend. Laura had her this past weekend, but then I've got podcast Wednesday, so I just can't, like, how do I, like, it's Monday now, so how do I, okay, so I go now, then I miss 2 days of working here, to come back on Wednesday, just to go back. It's like podcast.
I do wonder, this is me getting like icky and parasocial like everyone else, because when you watch these clips, you have to start thinking, it's like, man, I wonder what their relationship is. Because one thing didn't always happen between my parents are divorced, but sometimes there was a weekend trade. Hey, I have to do this. I have to go to this conference. You know, maybe you get back to backers and then I get back to backers and we're there. It doesn't seem like that is an option, at least that he's talking about in these vlogs. Obviously, I don't know what he's talking about. And that
I think they have done weekend trades previously, especially because of the like amount of like different things that he's having to do. I think sometimes she's just not able to
accommodate, which is not her job. Yeah.
It's a fair balance, is what it seems like from
someone who's watched a lot of
no
stuff,
idea.
which is you.
Yeah.
Like talk to Simon about, I just can't do it anymore or something. But then that's like another thing gone. You guys love it, I love it, Simon loves it. It earns people money, it earns me money. So it's like, what do I do, man?
This, for even more context, the clip that this is from is currently still now only got 23,000 views. I say only, that's still a lot of views, but like in the context of Randolph's vlogs, that's not like one of his most well-performing.
You mean his vlog has 23,000 views?
Yes.
Yeah.
This clip got 600,000 views.
Yeah, that's so annoying.
Yeah. And then when it got reposted to Twitter, it got 1 million views.
Oh no. And it's the same clip.
It's the exact same TikTok, just reposted. And a bunch of the replies were, as expected, horrible.
Does Randolph complain and cry on a weekly basis? Oh, sports avatar, also in there. Also in there, man. It's not Ronaldo, but I get it.
Yeah, with a blue tick as well.
Yeah. I've got to sit and talk for 2 hours on Wednesday and then play golf all weekend. Jesus Christ, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Where's the GoFundMe? No one should have to go through that amount of work. It's just so easy to take 2 seconds and be like, man, I only have to, like, you can say I've got to sit and talk for 2 hours on Wednesday, but the more reasonable take, or at least mine, is shit, I've only got 2 hours of work on Wednesday. I am not maximizing my earning here in London, and I'm having to pay a lot of money for my way of life to even get that 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like it's almost the opposite of what they've interpreted from it, which is like,
there's just, people don't understand how much money you make on things, and it's like, it's not that much. He's not filthy fucking rich, because then a lot of his problems would go away. He wouldn't be like, shit, I need to move apartments within my complex to save £100 a month. Well, this is not KSI money we're talking.
And then behind the scenes, there is like the businesses that he's running that aren't social media things, the Ace Grading, Pokérand, his Pokemon stuff.
Yeah.
He is like the founder and CEO of a bunch of companies that he is going to the offices of to make sure that they're running and trying to like maintain these businesses, whilst also all of these different like plates that he's spinning are like wobbling, and he's trying to desperately make sure that they're not
even wobbling. They're going bad. He's losing custody. He cannot
he's
afford
gonna have
to
to
pay
drop
his mortgage.
some of them. He's gonna have to drop a plate or two.
Because people can be like, oh, wobbling, like woe is me. It's like, no, they're gonna be gone. The podcast will be gone because of these things, and you are not helping by like talking shit on it. Yeah,
this one boils my blood. This one's fucking awful. I hate this so much.
Bro chose to leave his family and kids to live in London with his friends to have fun and play hide and seek, and now he's complaining. Sports profile picture, by the way.
What do they think a divorce is, bro? It is like, obviously it's a choice, but it's not like he didn't get married to the person because he wanted to divorce them.
Yeah.
Like, it's people split up. He's obviously really sad about not being able to see his kids. How do people not realize this?
And not even see his kid. And I'm going to speak for him a little bit, but like, I'm sure so much of what he's going through is like the situation that his kid is now in. It's like, I didn't want my kid to have divorced parents. I didn't want my kid to only get to see their father every other weekend, and sometimes not if they had to work. You know what I mean? It's just like, and you can't put the genie back in the bottle. the kid is born. Yeah.
And all of this led to Randy tweeting this.
This guy's still posting out of context clips, I'm assuming. Lowest mental health I've ever had in my career creating content, and accounts like this just love to make it worse. Close to quitting a lot of stuff right now. I just can't be dealing with this anymore. The internet fucking sucks. Yeah.
So the guy that posted the clip of him has him blocked on Twitter.
Oh, he blocked him.
So Randolph hasn't blocked him.
I thought it was the other way around. Yeah.
So Randy can't even see the clip that everyone's talking about that's got 1 million views because he's been blocked by the account that posted it. Which is like, if you want to understand the like motivation behind the Twitter account that posted it, now you understand. It's definitely not to fucking shine a light and maybe help out Randolph or like give him exposure.
It's just
because
pure
he fucking hates him.
Monetization. You know what I mean? And I don't even think it's hate. I think it's just like, I can make money off doing this, which is why they're just posting like random shit. You know what I mean? Simon Cowell's reportedly stepping down from Britain's Got Talent. It's like, what the fuck is going on here?
So then Randy not only stopped the vlogs, but decided to stop the podcast as well. I think related to the thoughts that he was having in that clip, which is like, I can't manage this, so he's not going to live in London and he can't do the podcast.
Yeah, I think he literally can't afford to live in London.
Yeah.
As you may have seen, I'm taking a break from the vlogs and podcasts for a little bit. Damn.
Moving on to the final episode of the podcast, at least currently. I think they're planning on coming back, but this is a funny intro that he did.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is pretty crazy. I was saying on Textualizing, it's crazy how we've continued the podcast because we've actually, like, life for both of us has changed a lot. Like, you got married, I've got unmarried. Had a baby, all this things.
It's so funny.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, you have to kind of have a good. You don't have to. Sorry, you don't have to do anything. But like, it's nice to have a good attitude. Sometimes making a joke can make you like feel a little better. I get that.
Oh, but I'm also stopping the vlogs for a little bit as well. So what happened was, it's really funny because I did those tweets and everyone's like, "Oh my god, what's going on?" But then I also like, I hadn't posted my vlog yet, in which I'm not going to post my vlog. Where actually this like rumbling started.
Because did I tell you, I put up it in the chat, and someone was like, "Oh, Randy, check out the Simon Reddit and the new Simon Rex video because you got some really good comments on there." And obviously,
God,
because I'm like, recently I've been like getting so many bad comments. I was like, "Oh, cool, that sounds quite fun." So I was like, let me just check them out. So I go to Simon Reddit, and it was fucking awful. It's like the worst I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh no! Why would someone do that to him?
I think they were being genuine. I don't think they were trying to bait him. But I also think when they're comments about you, you can maybe view them differently.
Sure.
You have been known to do a Google or a Reddit search once or twice and get really annoyed at people talking about you. No. I do understand it, but it does suck that he went there and was like, oh, fuck, everyone hates me.
Yeah, it is. The times in life when you forget about that kind of stuff and don't see it is so pleasant and beautiful. And then when you do confront it, you're like, this sucks. How long has it been going on? Does everyone hate me? What am I doing? Am I doing something wrong? I get it. If I had any of these thoughts in my brain, I wouldn't be sitting like this. I'd be like, I have diarrhea. I'm going to die. You know what I mean?
The stuff he's talking about on the Reddit isn't even to do with all the things that we've been talking about throughout this video. This isn't the TikToks and the reposting clips and the stuff about his vlogs. This is just
Does anyone else think Randy's gained some
weight?
You know what I mean? Does anyone else think Randy looks a little unkempt lately and sad? Is he sick?
So they're not even like this. Randy's reading that knowing that like, oh man, like that sucks. The Sidemen side like really fucking digging at me.
Yeah.
I wonder how my vlogs are doing. And then sees the tweet. So understandably, if he's like juggling all these things and only getting negativity, it seems like primarily, imagine 23,000 views of people that actually want to watch the video, and then 1.7 million people that are like, actually, this guy's cringe and he doesn't like his ex-wife or his kid, and he abandoned them both and he's cringe. In my opinion, Stanz, this story has a happy ending.
Okay. I mean, he's disengaging from these people who do not mean him help.
Right,
you know
exactly.
I mean? Yeah.
That is the biggest part of this happy ending is that he actually stopped the things that were causing him the most like pain and negativity.
It's the end of Goodwill Hunting, dude. You don't want to see Randy on the internet. You don't want to see him on Twitter. You don't want to see him making a vlog. The second I show up and I don't see Randy being clip chimped for fucking rage bait, I know that he got out and I am happy for him.
But the thing that he has carried on doing that I think has only positivity surrounding it is his Pokemon channel. If you go and have a look, the last video that he uploaded that he didn't upload since.
This is really a larger gap. It's like a month and a half, almost 2 months. And he came back to like a very supportive Pokemon community, 113,000
views. He then came back with no like, he didn't go, hey guys, I've not been here for a while or whatever. He was just like, now I'm posting Pokemon and I'm going all in on the Pokemon stuff, and got like a very, very good performing Pokemon video. And all his videos have been doing really well. He's just come back from Japan. He had a whole trip to Japan just buying Pokemon cards. And I saw that and I was like, let's fucking go.
Yeah, you were just happy for him. It's like, wait, he's outside of this drama sphere. Even though he was using the vlog channel to share his story, it was like it wasn't actually healthy and helping him grow. And so he can just fully focus on this thing and it's working, which is maybe sad for a different reason, but happy for at least one big reason.
Yeah, I'm happy for him. And if he ever chooses to come back to vlogging, which I'm sure he will at some point, I hope that he's able to do it in a healthy way for him, and he's able to cope and not be in such a bad headspace like he was before.
Yeah, totally.